The suspect's silence. Port Harcourt, Nigeria, 2004. The morning after Benji Okoro vanished from his cell, the police compound was chaos. Officers waded through ankle-deep water, shouting orders, checking every drain, every corridor, every vehicle. Detective Michael Owuru stood in the middle of it all, soaked, furious, disbelieving. "He's one man," he barked. "One man with shackles on his legs. How does he disappear through concrete?" No one had an answer. The locks were still intact. The guards swore they heard nothing. The only clue was the message carved into the wall, "She called. I went home." And in the flooded cell, the drain cover had been blown upward, twisted like something had forced its way from below. The river's new whispers. By noon, word spread across the city: the butcher of the bridge had escaped. Crowds gathered along Elechi River, staring at the murky water. Rumors grew faster than the flood itself. Some claimed to see a man walking along the bridge at dawn, barefoot and wet. Others swore they saw ripples glowing faintly in the current at night. A fisherman, Papa Ifani, told reporters, "The river don't want peace. That man no run, he go back to who he serve." His words made the front page the next morning. River claims the butcher back. The investigation stalls. Owuru was summoned to Abuja for a disciplinary review. The press accused the police of negligence. But deep down, he knew, this was no ordinary escape. He replayed the interrogation tapes over and over. Benji's voice echoed, "When you drain the water, you wake her." He found himself asking questions no detective should. Had they disturbed something ancient? Something not meant to be found? When he asked the forensics lab to re-examine the bones, the report came back with something new: high traces of salt in the marrow, far beyond normal levels. "Like they were soaked," said Dr. Adeku. "As if the bodies had been preserved, not decomposed." Owuru frowned. "Preserved by what? River water?" "Not just water," she said quietly. "Something else mixed in. Something organic." The journalist's nightmare. Meanwhile, Chika Nwosu couldn't escape the story. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Benji, smiling, whispering, standing waist-deep in dark water. He tried to write his article, but his laptop screen flickered. Lines appeared on the document that he hadn't typed. "She remembers. You listened too long." He shut the computer, trembling. When he reopened it, the text was gone. Later that night, his phone rang. A voice, faint, distorted, whispered, "The bridge still hungers." Then static. He stared at the phone, heart pounding. The call came from his own number. Strange findings. 3 days after the escape, local divers found a floating carcass near the bridge. At first, they thought it was an animal. But as the current turned it over, the truth emerged: a human torso, with no limbs, no head. DNA testing would later reveal something impossible. The blood type matched Benji's. But when Dr. Adeku examined the tissue under magnification, she frowned. "This isn't rot," she murmured. "It's like the flesh was reshaped." "What do you mean reshaped?" Owuru asked. She hesitated. "Almost like it was melted, then molded again, as if the body wasn't dying, it was transforming." The police cover-up. Within a week, the Port Harcourt Command sealed all reports related to the case. The official statement read, "Suspect presumed dead by drowning during flood escape. Investigation closed." But Owuru didn't believe it. He visited the bridge again, alone this time. The air was heavy, the water black with silt. As he walked across, he heard a faint sound below, a soft, rhythmic tapping, like knuckles on hollow metal. He stopped. Listened. Then, in the quiet, a voice rose, low, feminine, and impossibly close. You woke me. Owuru froze. His flashlight flickered. When the beam steadied, he saw ripples forming below, slow, circular, pulsing like breath. He backed away, heart hammering. For the first time in his career, he ran. The echo spreads. In the weeks that followed, disappearances began again, not near the bridge this time, but miles away. A taxi driver. A teenage girl walking home from church. A night guard at a riverside hotel. All gone without trace. Each case had one detail in common, a trail of wet footprints leading nowhere. Locals whispered, "The butcher is back." But those who had seen the footprints swore they were too small, not a man's at all. Chika's returned to the bridge. Against his better judgment, Chika returned to the bridge at night, camera in hand. The city slept, and only the river moved, slow, endless. He switched on his recorder. This is Chika Nwosu, October 12, 2004. I'm standing at Elachi Bridge, the site of the disappearances. Locals say the water still speaks. He paused. There it was. A whisper. Soft. Fluid. Familiar. Chika. He turned sharply. Who's there? The water rippled. His camera light flickered. Then, slowly, something surfaced, a pale hand, half human, half something else, reaching toward the air. Chika stumbled back, breath shaking. He dropped the recorder into the mud and ran. The tape would later be found, waterlogged but partly playable. In the background, beneath the static in his footsteps, one last phrase could be heard. She's home again. Aftermath. The bridge was fenced off soon after. No one was allowed near the river at night. But people still claimed to hear voices, laughter, murmuring, even crying beneath the hum of passing traffic. Detective Owuru retired quietly the following year. Chika never published his story. And the butcher's stall, though dismantled, still stood in local memory, a ghost structure by the road, its foundation sinking deeper into the soil each rainy season.